It took me 5 years to hit my first $100,000 invested, but going from 100K to 300K happened way faster than I expected, and that made me realize that the path to 1 million might be a lot closer than it feels. So in this video, I'm gonna walk through 3 scenarios. What happens if I never invest another dollar? What happens if I keep investing just like I am? And what happens if I get extremely aggressive with my investing? And by the end, you'll be able to use the exact same framework to estimate your time to 1 million, whether you're a brand new investor or someone who has been consistently investing and is trying to figure out how to get there that much faster. Getting right into it, if you've watched the channel before, you know I hit 100K at the age of 25, and just a few years later, my traditional Roth IRA, 401K, HSA, the same accounts have grown to over 300K. And the question now is, how long do I have to wait for this to hit $1 million and that magical 7-figure number? The first route is the passive route, which means that I wouldn't invest another dollar from what I currently have invested. So if we take that $300,000 and we assume an 8% annual return, I'm gonna look on my phone real quick to make sure I get the numbers right. That's going to put us at hitting 1 million in about 16 years. This will put me at the age of 44 years old. If we go out to 27 years, assume I get the chance to retire at the age of 55, this would put us at about $2.4 million. If we adjust this for inflation, which has been about 3% a year, this number comes out to about 1.1 million adjusted for inflation. And then if we assume the 4% withdrawal rate, which is what you can typically safely assume that you can withdraw in retirement without sinking your account, that puts us at an income of about $44,000 a year in retirement if I retired at the age of 55. Nonetheless, if we did invest another dollar, we'd hit 1 million around 16 years from now. And if we let that account grow to retirement, adjust it for inflation, it would pay us around $44,000 during retirement. So that's the passive route if I didn't invest another dollar starting today. The second route is the steady route, and that is assuming that my contributions stay exactly like they are today. So if I average out over the past year and kind of what I've invested so far this year, my investments usually come out to around $2,900 a month. And quick disclaimer, I am married, I don't have kids yet. These investing accounts are just my own. I haven't included my wife's accounts in these, but having her income as well definitely frees up more cash for us to invest compared to some people. There's some people that invest way more, but in our situation, that has been a factor that has allowed us to increase our investing rate. So I just want to put that out there because that's our situation. Everyone is different, but just want to give a little bit of perspective on that as well. But assuming my contributions stay consistent, that puts me around $34,800 a year invested on this path. If we put that into the calculator at 8%, that has us hitting 1 million at the end of year 9. So almost 10 years from now is when I would be able to see these accounts cross that $1 million mark. And that's kind of crazy to see because that's close to cutting in half the passive route that we talked about earlier if I just didn't invest any more money from now. So it goes to show the power of consistent contributions, as you know, just staying consistent with what I'm currently doing basically cuts that time in half for these accounts to reach 1 million. If we go out 27 years to the age of 55, where hopefully I'll be retiring, we will end up with $5.5 million in this account. And doing the inflation calculator again, this will put us at an adjusted value of around 2.5 million. And then using the 4% rule that we talked about earlier to withdraw, that gives us about $96,000 a year in income from this account. That is adjusted for inflation once again. If you're new here, my name is Cade and I talk about my learnings and mistakes from investing all through my 20s. So if you're into that, hit the subscribe button down below. I would really appreciate it. Let's go ahead and get back into the video. And then the last one is the aggressive route if we really locked in and contributed more. And for this number, I assumed $3,500 a month would be the aggressive route. So about $600 more a month than what I'm currently investing. Running this through the investing calculator that actually has the portfolio hitting 1 million at the beginning of that year 9 mark. So you basically shave off about a year jumping to this aggressive strategy. Going out to the age of 55, again, this would grow to about 6.2 million. Adjusted for inflation, that would come out to be about 2.8 million. And with that 4% withdrawal rate, this would provide about $112,000 in income during retirement. And so which of these am I going with right now? And am I going to make any portfolio tweaks to help reach that number sooner? The answer to the first part of that is I plan to stick with route number 2, which is just being consistent and doing what I'm currently doing and not going on the aggressive side of things. And now why is that? Well, the reason is because we've tracked our spending for years, my wife and I, and we have a very good idea of where every dollar is going. We use the Monarch Money tool. I did a full review, different video on that if you want to check it out. But basically, we're at the point where we are investing a substantial amount of our income already. And I don't think that sacrifice that we would basically have to make to invest that extra $600 a month would be worth it just to shave a year or two off reaching that $1 million goal. I'm a firm believer in enjoying the present while not destroying your future, and basically sacrificing that extra $600 that we would have to every month. I don't think is worth it at this point just to reach 1 million a year or maybe 2 years earlier. That said, I do have two things that I'm doing to hopefully speed this process up. The first is that making sure my investments are extremely passive. I plan to do this through growth ETFs. I plan to keep most of my portfolio over 50% allocated toward growth. So that's funds like VUG, we've talked about on the channel, SPMO, QQQ, those funds that have over the last 10 years outperformed the S&P 500 and done better than that 8% annual return. So the plan of the portfolio is to keep it heavily allocated on the growth side of things, and the goal of that is just to beat that 8% annual return over the next 10, 20, 30 years, which will hopefully get me to that $1 million just that much faster. The second thing has a little more risk to it, but this is actually going to be investing into some type of business. There's a couple different ideas I've been looking into over the last year or so, and leave a comment down below if you would be interested in videos on that. I haven't pulled the trigger on anything yet, but I've been pretty close. But hopefully the goal of these businesses would be to produce some extra income that I could also throw into those growth investments and just basically throw fuel on the fire, and hopefully that will compound and reach that $1 million number quicker and also grow my portfolio more long term. Those are the two levers that I'm trying to pull to hit that $1 million faster. Passive growth ETFs, take that free time, use it in a business, hopefully get some extra income from there and throw it into those ETFs, and the circle continues. If you want to learn more about ETF strategies that I use, I'll link a free PDF down below with 5 ETFs that I plan to hold forever. There'll be some good information in that, so check that out down below if you want to. Link will be in the description. And if you're on this journey to 1 million yourself, I just wanted to throw this graphic up right here. This shows the time that it takes to hit 1 million once you hit that initial 100K. So as you can see, 0 to 100K takes almost 8 years to achieve, but in the grand total of time, that's 25% of the time that it takes to reach that 1 million, because compounding is going to take over. This example assumes $10,000 a year at 8% interest. So if you're contributing more or you're earning a little bit higher return than that, this is only going to speed up. But I just love this graphic. I always show it because it really gives you motivation to first hit that initial 100K because you have most of the legwork done. And then it shows you how fast your investments really speed up and how fast you can actually reach that $1 million mark if you stay consistent. Hopefully you found the video helpful and you can apply this framework to see how long it will take you to reach that $1 million mark. If you did like it, hit the like button. If you didn't, hit the dislike button. But either way, the Investing for Beginners playlist will be right here if you want to check it out. And then my latest upload is right here. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.